Is anybody here? No, I don't think so. Then it's my turn to read the journal. Going to read my journal entry now. I wasn't absent the day we read our knock-knock jokes. I think you were here. No, I wasn't. Yes, you were. Stop talking after the bell. You're going to miss your turn. Who has the stickers? Pass me the stickers. Where are the stickers? Knock, knock. Who's there? The chicken who tried to cross the road. The chicken who tried to cross the road, who? Because he was stapled to the chicken. That joke doesn't make sense. I think it's funny. Well, shh, somebody's coming. Let's get out of here. What is happening here? Who made the journal and the what in the world? Guys, hey, first grade, didn't see you there. Thought I would just stop by, clean up this mess. Who left this big mess? I was just here and up at school by myself. Nobody else is here. Taking a look at our Saxon Phonics and Spelling Dictionary. And I was just remembering some of the things we've learned so far. Like I was just looking at, like maybe rule number 1. That's always a good place to start. Do you remember vowel rule number 1? Remember when we learned that? Let me show you something. Just for old time's sake. Let's take a look. Like if we had this word or this word. And you remember how we used to do that? We used to say, we've got a vowel followed by a consonant making a short sound coated with a brief. Sit down and do that. And then you'd, sit down and fall out of your chairs, these kids. And then we had a vowel followed by a consonant making a short sound. We code it with a brief. And then we remember that the brief makes them say off, his short sound off. So we read the word log. Log. Three letters, 3 sounds. Log. Or we'd say this guy. We've got a vowel followed by a consonant making a short sound coded with a brief. Sit down and do that. And we'd see it, and we'd code it, and then we'd sound it out. It. Remember, the brief reminds us short sound. Sit. 3 letters, 3 sounds. You remember that? Oh, and then, if you remember, obviously, next was vowel rule number 2. A vowel that's open. Let me remind you about that guy, or maybe you can remind me. We would usually practice him maybe like this. We got a vowel that's open, accent, coated with a macron. Sit down and do that. And we would see, remember, open means he's not followed by a consonant. He's open. I mean, if he wanted to, he could run out there and run out that hall. He could just run away. He is open. But if we give him a karate chop, like stay right there. Stop. Stay right there. Stay right there. And then the macron reminds us he's saying his name E. So that word is me. Remember when we practiced that? Oh, that was good stuff. Then, as we got to learning some more things, we learned. Oh, yeah. Remember when we learned this rule? The K and C spelling rules. We learned a little hand sign language for that. Remember? K, remember letter K? K comes before an E, I, or Y. And C does everything else. Right? Do it with me. K comes before an E, I, or Y. And C is everything else. So we're always listening for the sound after K, and that will help us with the spelling. You know, like if I was going to spell the word kid, is this an E, I, or Y? Yeah, it's an I, so he gets a K. What if I wanted to spell the word cat? Is this an E, I, or Y? No, so it's C, just everything else. So we've got to practice the rules that we've learned when we are spelling. And then, let's see, what else did we learn? I made myself a little list here. Oh yeah, final K spelling. Remember that? The final K spellings. And remember, if you see him in these brackets, it actually means just say his sound, not his name. So final K spelling rules. The first one we learned, if you remember how we would put our hands on our hips and do our legs out and in? Short vowel gets a CK. Short vowel gets a CK. And that would be a word like, maybe the word duck, which is also our digraph CK. Short vowel gets a CK. Short vowel gets a CK. And we would have coded him like this. Cross out the C, let the K do the work. Then we also learned, and we did our legs kind of like scissors, remember? Consonant gets a K. Consonant gets a K. Consonant gets a K. You know, maybe a word like milk. Milk. There's a consonant, so I use this rule. Consonant gets a K. Then we also learn consonant and vowel digraph get a K. So we would do this. Consonant and vowel digraph get a K. Consonant and vowel digraph get a K. And that would be a word like, you know, like took. Vowel digraph gets a K. All right. Then we learned about the long vowel. Long vowel gets a K. Remember that time when I had to lift my leg and I almost fell down? Long vowel gets a K-E. Whoa! Okay. Try again. Don't fall down. Long vowel gets a K-E. We're trying to make our arms look like K and E because when we use a long vowel gets a K-E, it might be like the word like. When I hear long vowel I and I hear a K sound, I know that a long vowel gets a K. Ooh, that is not my best E. Long vowel gets a K-E. There is one more in our future. We haven't learned him yet, and I did not check to see when he's coming, but there is one more final K spelling, okay? And it's 2 or more syllables, get a C, take it down. 2 or more syllables, get a C, take it down. Words like plastic. You hear the K at the end? Well, he's going to be the letter C. That's the rule. 2 or more syllables, get a C. The word majestic. Majestic. 2 or more syllables, get a C. Oh, the word fantastic. 2 or more syllables, get a C. You can actually sound out that giant word and spell it correctly. It's crazy. We'll be doing that. We haven't met him yet. He's in our future. Now, another thing, I wanted to talk a little bit about vowel patterns. We've only learned one so far. And the word we first saw was napkin. Do you remember that? Napkin. Now, when you see a big word and you know it has 2 syllables, we've talked about the first thing that you should look for is a suffix. The first thing we look for is a suffix. And we've so far learned these 3 suffixes, S, ing, and ed. So if I take a look at this word, I don't see an S, I don't see an an ed, or an ing. That makes more sense. So if it doesn't have a suffix, no, we haven't learned final stable, but he would be our, in the future, we'll look for him. But if he doesn't have a suffix, then we're going to look for a vowel pattern. We're also going to learn it could be a compound word, so he's a little tricky. He has a lot of things he might do, but so far we've only learned he's either a suffix or a vowel pattern. If we don't see a suffix, we're going to mark your vowels and what's between them. Divide between the consonants. Once he's in his little parts, we can code each part. Like I can look here. A vowel followed by a consonant makes a short sound, coded with a brief. And then a vowel followed by a consonant making a short sound, coded with a brief. Now, any word that has 2 or more syllables, somebody's getting a karate chop or an accent mark. It's the syllable that sounds higher, stronger, louder. Usually, the first syllable is your best guess. So let's try it. Napkin. Napkin. Do people say napkin? Could you please pass me a napkin? No, it's napkin. So this syllable, accent mark goes on the first syllable. That's where we put the oomph when we say the word, okay? And that's usually your best guess. But there are some words that will have it on the end. Like this word. Let's take a look. All right, he's a big word. First things first, I don't see a suffix, so I'm gonna mark your vowels and what's between them. Divide between the consonants. Say it again. Mark your vowels and what's between them. Divide between the consonants. Okay, once I have him broken into his little parts, I'm going to look at the first syllable where I see a vowel followed by a consonant making a short sound. And now I'll look at the second syllable. Vowel followed by a consonant making a short sound. Coded with a brief. Do any of these, does it need any other coding? That's right. It's a K back C. Now he still looks pretty big, so I'm going to just read him in his little parts now that I have him coded. Inject. Now I just said the accent mark usually goes on the front. Do we say inject or inject? Inject. This is one of the words where the umph is on the end, so he gets the accent mark on the end or the final syllable in this word, okay? So that's the only one we've learned so far. And real quick, I think I did some sneaky E in the last video, but let's just do one. Like maybe this guy, cake. All right, first of all, how do we spell cake? We hear K, so it has to be a K or a C, so we have to think of our rules for spelling. K comes before an E, I, or Y. A. Well, I hear an A, so we must start with a C. A. A. Long vowel gets a K-E. See how I practiced the rules to spell the word cake. K, yeah, C gives everything else. He gets letter A. And then I heard the long vowel, and I used a K-E. So if I wanted to code the word, the first thing I would see is a K back C. And then I have a vowel, no. Sneaky E. Hey! He scared him into his long sound, and that's the word cake. So I practiced the rules that I know to help me spell the word cake. And it's true for all our words. Now, I think that was all I was going to share. If you guys have any other questions, you let me know. And I'll just be waiting right here in the room by myself. All by myself. Nobody else is here. Nobody else is here. Bye. Goodbye, children.